Alrighty guys, how's she going today? This hat does not seem like it's fitting very well. I don't know why, but it ain't. So, yeah, I just passed the highway patrol. I don't know what the hell he was coming down that road for, but he was. I don't know why, but he was. So, that's a dead-end street. It still shows on the maps that it's still a full street, but it ain't. It's only like, it's a dead-end street now. But it is what it is. So I feel like something hit my hand. So anyways, I don't know what's been going on. Just been working on the 1586, trying to get all that crap figured out. It's finally a little bit warmer out today than it was yesterday. There's not much of a breeze. There's a slight breeze, but it ain't as bad as it usually is. So, that seems weird. I don't know why. I don't know, whatever. So, I don't know what our highway patrol's doing, but I know once in a while they'll sit up on the highway there and they'll pull over truckers to make sure that they're not overweight or something, but they've never ever come into town. Unless they just want to see what, you know, what this town looks like or something. I don't know. He waved at me, but yeah, it is what it is. So, but then it's kind of funny that after I passed them, I was kind of looking behind me because I wanted to see what the hell he was going to do, and I got about up to this four-way intersection, and he was already out. Getting something out of the back seat. I don't know what the hell he's doing, so maybe he's doing some paperwork or something. I don't know. Maybe he's been there all morning pulling over trucks. I don't know. So maybe he's just doing some paperwork now. I don't know, but we're gonna be coming by there again later tonight around 3, 4ish. So better not be in the way. But anyways, you guys know that I bought that cigarette lighter and those plastic or those rubber mounts for the lights. The mounts for the lights were a little bit hard to get on, but it's not too bad. Of course, you do have to get a little bit violent with them, but they're more flexible, so they don't break as bad. They won't break so quick, but I got them on, and I had to redo one of the freaking wiring's plugs again because they popped out on me. I guess for whatever reason. I don't know, for some reason those flat spaded connectors weren't very tight. They were tight when I put them on, but maybe they stretch a little bit from being too tight. I don't know, but so I had to replace them for the wiring to get that one light to work again. So they're working. They're fine. Went to install the cigarette lighter. Now, I figured this would just be a simple 1 or 2 wire job, and I'd be done. Well, come to find out it's only 1 wire. Like, it was a power wire, but I was like, well, where does it ground to? But I noticed that with these new ones, they give you the option now, so you know, like, because these newer tractors, they ground different from what the older ones did. The older ones, like on this tractor, when the old cigarette lighter was in there, it was actually grounding to the metal part of the dash, where it actually slipped into the hole. The hole was actually, that area was made out of metal, so I guess it was grounding to that. But a lot of the newer tractors don't do that kind of grounding anymore because now everything's plastic, so you have to run wiring to ground it. That's why, if you guys seen on that chrome part of the mount, it had a spade on it for a spade connector, or a flat spaded connector, or whatever. We didn't use that. We just used the dash ground. But what ended up happening is I didn't know that the wire was live. I didn't know it was hot. I figured if you turn the key off, it'd probably go dead too, but apparently it was not. So what ended up happening is I put the wire on because the wire was kind of broken and cracked. We managed to reuse it, but I went to go stick it in the hole. and and unfortunately it started sparking and grounding to the dash. Like, oh shit, you know. I didn't know it was actually a live wire. If I knew it was a live wire, I would have disconnected the damn batteries. So after that, we kind of like had some issues a little bit. It wasn't working for whatever reason. After that, I thought maybe something had happened. Maybe I had blown a fuse or something, or melted a wire somewhere. So we were looking and looking and looking. We just couldn't figure this one out. So and then my uncle, I said, well, it was getting into the evening. It was getting kind of late out. I was like, I'm done. I'll come back tomorrow and try her again. Well, he went back out there later on that one night, and he kept going, and he wired the fuse. He wired the cigarette lighter back up, but it wasn't getting power. So then he disconnected another wire for whatever reason. I don't know. I thought that would be a ground wire because it was black. It's actually a power wire that he removed. So what ended up happening is that once we got everything put back together to the way that we thought it went, I had no blinkers, I had no flashers, I had headlights and work lights, it was fine, but I didn't have turn signals and I didn't have blinkers. And then I didn't have dash lights, like those little lights that stick out of the dash to light up your dash for like the throttle and the TA and all that stuff. Whoever owns an 86 series tractor, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. There's these little lights that stick out of the dash on the top and the corners. They kind of just light up the face plate of the dash. Well, they weren't coming on. So, and that's what kind of got us all fucking screwy, because we didn't know what we did wrong. You know, we thought the wires came off the correct spade. What's going on is that the cigarette lighter and the dash lights and everything go to some kind of a little thing underneath. It's literally right underneath the dash when you take the cover off. It's like a little, I suppose like a place where you could add more wiring or something. I don't know. It doesn't go straight to the fuse box. It goes from whatever source, like the lights, well, let's say the lights, gets ran down to that little thing underneath the dash, and then it gets redirected down to the fuse thing. Well, what ended up being the problem, because my uncle's actually he figured it out last night, because we've been going at this for like 2 or 3 days. It was freaking ridiculous. We were both getting frustrated at it. We didn't know what the hell was going on, because we didn't see any blown fuses. We didn't see any melted wires. You know, we just couldn't figure it out. You know, it's like this is the only spot, as far as I know, that has fuses, and it's right underneath the steering wheel. There's a little red cover on the bottom there, where the clutch and the brake pedals are. In between them two, there's a little plate you can pull out, and then there's your fuses. Well, what ended up being the problem for one of the things, I can't remember which one though, but one of the fuses was actually dirty, and it wasn't letting power go through, so it wasn't powering. I think it might have been the cigarette lighter. It wasn't powering. So he said that he cleaned it up, made it look all shiny again. The fuse wasn't blown or nothing. It just wasn't in all the way like I guess it should have been. So he got that to work. So we got one of the things working, but I still didn't have, there still wasn't no lights. So then he took that black wire back off of where he put it on, and he moved it over one, and it started working. So I have blinkers back again and everything, but my uncle also figured out too, another thing that's causing my dash lights to not come on the top of the dash, is that the dimmer switch is fucked. So it looks like we'll be replacing the dimmer switch as well. It's not completely dead. Like if you slightly turn the knob a little bit, then it works. But if you should nudge it, then it'll cut out. So, and the dimmer switch is on the right side, down by the throttle. So I need to, looks like I'll be ordering another one of those. But I thought I had done some serious damage, like I had blown something out that somehow all this was plugged into. I thought maybe I had blown out the blinker control box. You know, like where you turn left, you turn that switch for left and right. There's a box behind that. That's what tells the thing to do its thing. I thought maybe I blew that out. But I guess not. But I think I looked it up online. I think Triple R Tractor sold that part. And I don't know if my eyes were playing with me that day or what. But I think that was like a $250 part. And I was like, yeah, you're nuts. And the box isn't even that damn big, you know. It's like, you're not charging me. I ain't paying that. But so we had a hectic time. So, but everything's working like it should now, except the dimmer switch. That's a little touchy and go. So I might have to replace that dimmer switch. That seems like what I've been doing lately is replacing a lot of stuff on this tractor that seems to be worn out. So, but the thing is, see, my fault, what was kind of my fault in the way, but I didn't know, was that the cigarette lighter has power non-stop. Even when the key off. Of course, I mean, a lot of things in that tractor has power anyway, even with the key off. You can still turn the lights on, well, not the radio, but you can turn the blinkers on, the headlights, the cigarette lighter, and the dashboard lights up and everything. That's actually kind of a poor design. They really should have just keyed that. Like with Big Red and the John Deere, the key, once you turn the key off, it kills everything. And nothing gets power then. So that's kind of a poor design. For the way International did it, but whatever. So everything's working again. What a freaking nightmare that turned out to be yet again. It's just like nothing can be simple. Kind of what caused the issue too was that the red wire, the power wire for the cigarette lighter, had kind of twisted it and it broke. So we had to resolder it. My uncle resoldered it and then it ended up breaking again. So, you know, we just weren't getting power to some things like we should have been. So that's what took all the time to figure it out. Lesson learned: no matter what you're working on, just disconnect the damn batteries anyway. Screw it. So, yeah, didn't really care for that too damn much. So, but it would have been just a simple one wire fix, or, you know, replacement, because it grounds to the dash. Because the bottom half of the dash is made out of steel, so that's what it's grounding there. So that's what it's grounding to. But if your tractor was newer and it had a plastic dash, you could plug it in because it had a spade to do that. So, but I didn't do that because it was grounded, because the old one was grounding to the dash. So I figured, okay, well, this new one can do it too. They said it would fit all International or all IH tractors. So they kind of made it so, you know, no matter what, it'll work. If you either have to wire it or let it ground to the dash, there's a way to do it. So, but we did get it to work. Works just fine. We had to resolder the wire again so it wouldn't break or anything stupid like that. Of course, I mean, the wire's from the 70s, so it's probably pretty old wiring, but I think that had to have been at least 12 or 10 gauge wire, and we don't have none of that. We might actually try to order a roll. So if we need to rewire something, we can do that at least. But in other words, tractor's back up and running again. We're thinking about using it today for a small job. Only just because we have to go to the young guy's place to get some chop, and we're also going to buy a bale from him too, because we only have like 3 bales left, and spring seems to be nowhere near around us yet, so we need some more bales. So stupid. We still have snow. I mean, and then this is what's so fucking stupid is that it's supposed to be in the 30s, kind of ish, and then it's supposed to get into the 40s for a couple days, and then I think it's supposed to be back down to the 20s or the 30s, can't remember, and then it's supposed to spike up into the 50s. How, I don't know, because we haven't even seen our first 40-degree weather yet. You know, apparently it's supposed to be coming, but that's what they said last week, and we ended up getting low 30s and high 20s. And but then another kicker is that there's supposed to be another snowstorm. I don't know if it's coming this way or not, but possibly another snowstorm could be coming our way. It's like, we don't need it, you know. It's like we're done with this. But you know what? We had such a late start to winter. I mean, winter didn't get here until late, so we had a good fall, and a decent part of the winter was decent. But now we're paying for it because now we're not getting an early spring. You know, we're getting a late spring. You know, and a lot of farmers are saying that they want to be in the fields by a certain date. Well, that's maybe down south you can do that, but here you can't. You can only get in the fields when you've had a good week of 50s and 60s with full sun and the ground dries out enough for you to work it. We're probably not going to get that for, well, at least for most part of April. You know, the month that we're in now. I don't think we're going to get any higher than that for a while. I mean, like, they're showing one day in the 50s, but you know, the thing is, too, is that every time you look at the goddamn weather, they change it. That's why I don't really look at the weather hardly anymore, because it's just like, well, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You spend billions of dollars and all this fancy computer bullshit stuff to figure out temperatures in the atmosphere and, you know, tell the future on the weather, but you're failing at it. And then you got the weather people sitting there getting paid thousands of dollars to report the weather when it's all false reports anyway. It's like, you're better off shutting your damn mouth and living day by day and just see what the hell happens. You know, like today it's sunny, so if it was 60, 70 degrees right now, one, the snow would be melting, and two, the sun would be out. It'd be really nice out right now. So, looks like he's going to come pick up some cars. I guess so, huh? But yeah, so I figured I'd let you guys know what's going on with the tractor and whatnot. He's going to be there now, it looks like, so I guess I'll end my video then. So, anyways guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.